Good morning. Today is Friday, the 25th day of Sivan, and we continue in chapter 7 of Shaar, Yichud, vEmuna. So, yesterday we spoke about the Alter Rebbe clarifying what it means, the Tzimtzum doctrine that the Arizal explained, the concept that Hashem has contracted his light. And the Arizal says that in order for Hashem to allow place for this world, he removed his light. Hashem removed his light for us to be able to exist. And the sages that followed the Arizal misunderstood what the Arizal said, some of the sages, some of the Kabbalists, and they took it literally to say that Hashem removed his light from this place and allowed the world to exist, and Hashem is sort of controlling the world remotely. And the Alter Rebbe said that this is really false, this interpretation. It's a mistake. And so he explained yesterday, he brought 2 points. He says, number one, the whole idea of being removed in this place from a place is a corporeal phenomenon. And something that you cannot ascribe to Hashem. And what that means, in human terms, to say something is present in a place, in order for the thing to be present, then the place needs to receive it, needs to be a vessel for it to be there. For example, think about an intellectual subject. Intellectual subject is, let's say, a teacher teaches 2 students. One is smart and the other one not so smart. A child sitting next to him. They both hear the same words, but they both receive it differently. And in a way, the child is not really receiving. So the intellect, the depth of the intellect is not really settled in the child. Or go even further, if you say that the intellect is somewhere, which the intellect, in order to be somewhere, you need to have a vessel, you need to have an intellectual brain, understand, to be able to be there. The intellect is not in a piece of wood. You need to have the vessel. So everything in that sense needs a space, needs to be there, then the space needs to be a recipient, a proper recipient to be able to receive what the giver gives in order to be present. And being based on that, that's the way the Kabbalists who made the mistake, they understood the same thing would be when we refer to Hashem. Being that Hashem is infinite, and the world that he created is finite. So in order to be here, he cannot be here with a fully infinite level. And why? Because the world is not a vessel to receive the infinite energy of Hashem, the infinite light of Hashem. So that's why they took it literally, that the infinite light of Hashem was removed. And Hashem sort of controls the world only from a distance. And Alter Rebbe says that this is a mistake, this understanding, because basically you're giving God the limitations of this corporal world, saying that it cannot be unless the place where he is able to receive him. But by Hashem does not have these limitations. He can be here and at the same time, even in a place where a place that cannot receive him. So he can still be. He's not limited in this limitation. So this is, it says, the whole idea is mikri aguf, it is a corporal phenomenon. In addition to that, the Alter Rebbe pointed out that obviously those sages, they believe that Hashem has divine providence, everything, knows everything what happens. Every creature in the world Hashem knows. So if we think about, based on what we explained, what does it mean that Hashem knows? Hashem knows something. If Hashem knows something outside of him, then it means that Hashem has something in addition, something that is added to his being. God forbid, we cannot say such a thing. There's nothing that you can add to Hashem. Additional creation does not add to Hashem. Like we said yesterday, Hashem is the same before the world was created and the same that after the world was created, meaning that the world was created and Hashem knows everything by being everything. That Hashem, the knowledge, that's what we explain from the Rambam, the knowledge does not add to Hashem. As God and his knowledge and his wisdom are all one. It's obviously something beyond our understanding. But the idea is that Hashem is a simple unity, not a unity of a composite unity of different concepts. Now, if you believe that Hashem is everything, Hashem is not here, that means that those things is added to Hashem, God forbid. That is something you cannot say about Hashem. That is why the Alter Rebbe says that Tzimtzum, what the Arizal says, that Hashem removed. It's not doesn't mean literally that Hashem removed himself. It's only Tzimtzum lo kipshuto, not in the literal sense. It was a real Tzimtzum, but the real Tzimtzum was from our awareness of him. So from our side, from our perspective, Hashem is removed, but not kipshuto, not literally, because literally Hashem is everywhere. So this the Alter Rebbe explained yesterday logically. And today, the Alter Rebbe continues to explain that concept. It says not only is it logical so, but we actually see it in the sources, in the Zohar, which obviously is way before the Arizal, that explain in the Zohar, it explains the concept that Hashem is here and Hashem grasps everything, but we do not grasp Hashem. So that means that Hashem is in every part of this world, in everything. So let's see inside what the Alter Rebbe says. There we go. Says the Alter Rebbe, "V'zeu shekasuv b'tikunim, tikunun zayin," and this is what it is stated in the Tikkun Zoya, Tikkun 57. The leis asar panu minei lo beiloin v'lo besatoin. There is no place devoid of him, neither in the upper worlds nor in the lower worlds. Okay, so thus we find it explicitly stated in Tikkun Zoya that God himself is to be found within the lower worlds, the lowest of which is this physical world. Another thing says the Alter Rebbe, says also in vEmuna, in the part of the Zohar that is called vEmuna, which is attributed to Moshe Rabbeinu, Parshas Pinchas. It says, "Iyu tofis bekula, v'leis man de tofis bei." As we read, it says there, he grasps all, and none can grasp him. Ihu seivev kalalmin chulu, and he encompasses all worlds, and so on. V'leis man de nofik mershuse lebar, and no one goes out from his domain. So those are clear words in the Zohar. that says how Hashem grasps everything, but is not grasped by anything. Also says he fills all or permeates all worlds. And he binds and unites a kind to its kind, upper with lower. Hashem is the one that is connecting them all. And there is no closeness in the four elements of which this corporal world is comprised, except through the Holy One, blessed be He, when He is within them. Only when Hashem is within them, it is only through His power that these four inherently contradictory elements are bound together. We have the fire, the water, the air, and the earth. They're all connected in each creature. It is only because Hashem does so. Ad kan lashoinai, until here are the words of the Raya Mehem, of the Zohar. And the Alter Rebbe explains, V'roitza loimar, leis man the toughest bay. What does it mean that none can grasp him? That means, says the Alter Rebbe, she'ein mi sheyitpois be'asagas sichloi mikol scholim elyonim b'mahusoi ve'atzmusoi shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It means that there is no one, even among all the supernal intelligence, meaning the incorporeal creatures of the higher spiritual worlds, whose apprehension of divinity is superhuman, but nevertheless, none of them, there's no one who can grasp by means of his intellect and essence and being of the Holy One, blessed be He. So here, the Alter Rebbe adds something addition. Not only this world, this physical, corporal world, we cannot grasp Hashem, but even in the higher spiritual worlds, the spiritual beings also cannot grasp the essence of Hashem. And this also brings another quote from the Zohar that states this thing. It says, as it is written in the Tikkunim, stima the whole stimin. He is hidden from all the spiritual worlds which are themselves hidden. That's what it means. Stima, the whole stimin. Stima means hidden. Stimin is the hidden. He's hidden from all those who are hidden. All those spiritual worlds that for us it's considered hidden. We don't grasp them. But from the hidden, Hashem is also hidden. Veleis machashava tfisa b'chlal, and no thought can grasp you at all. So we see that the fact that Hashem cannot be grasped. But in the same time, Hashem grasps everything, even in the lowest worlds. And even in the lower worlds, there are none that grasp him. And even though Hashem, He permeates all worlds, and that means that Hashem animates with a life force suited to each individual creature being in particular. So you would think, if He's suited to each particular creature, then His light should also be affected, because that's the way we see things. That's the way in our experience. Says the Alter Rebbe, it's not the same. It's not the same as it is by a soul of man in the body. And Alter Rebbe goes to explain that a soul that is in the body is affected by the body. Not only the body is affected by the soul, but the soul is also affected by the body. Meaning, for example, if a person thinks about something deep, something intellectual, What does he use? He uses his brain, it's his spiritual part. But what happens if he has a headache? If he doesn't feel well? He's not going to be able to think that way. Why not? That's not, he has his foot hurts or his head hurts. Why does it affect his spiritual part? Obviously, because the soul is enclosed in the body and affects him in a deeper inner way. That is why the soul is also affected by the body. But this is only true in our experience. But Hashem is beyond that. Hashem can be in everything and yet not to be affected by anything. Continues the Alter Rebbe. Says the Alter Rebbe, Einoi kenishmas ha'odam teich gufoi. This is not the same, for this vestment is not like that of the soul of man, which closes itself within the body. Sheinit peses toich haguf ad shemispa'eles u'mekabeles shinuyim mishinuyei haguf v'tzare. The soul that is in the body and is grasped within it, to the extent that it is affected by the influence and is being influenced by the changes involving the body and its pain. Such as from blows, the cold or the heat of fire and the like. So whatever happens to the body affects the soul. The soul is affected by it. The Holy One, blessed be He, however, is not so. He's not affected by any of the changes of this world. From a yom, lelayla, from a summer to winter, from day to night. As it is written, even the darkness does not obscure for you. Velayla kayom yoyom, and the night illuminates like the day. And why is Hashem not affected? He says, "Lafisheinu nitpas klal toicha olam is afagav d'malaloin." That is because he is not grasped within the world at all, even though he fills them all. Even though he fills the world, but he's not grasped. He grasps the world, but he's not grasped by the world. So this is the end of today's class. And the takeaway from here, only thinking about this concept helps us to live our life on a daily basis, knowing how Hashem is really every single detail. Hashem is there. Even though we don't see it, it's tzimtzum loy kepshutai. The tzimtzum, the removal of Hashem's light, is not literal, because Hashem is here, except we don't see it. The more we understand this, the more we connect with this will affect us in our daily life. And therefore, everything what we do will be different. Thank you very much. And Mirz Hashem, we'll see you Sunday. Have a wonderful Shabbos.